I mean, I'm confused. I'm very, very confused because why the hell would People Magazine put out an article December 1st, 2025? As in, this is current, talking about Justin Baldoni's kids. People hasn't had a good word to say about this man all year. And all of a sudden, you write an article, not even about him or the situation, but about his kids. I've spent the better part of all day today trying to make sense of it, and I just can't. So let's talk about it. Meet me on the other side. I'm very, very confused. Very, very confused. Also, who is doing the research at BBC? Because how was a publication of that size, a media house of that size, misinformed? Today's just not a good day. Meet me on the other side, guys. Let's go. F around and find out. Well, hello there, beautiful people, and welcome back to another episode of FRN and Find Out. I'm your host, Elsie. I appreciate you for being here. I also have an update coming to you guys tomorrow on the next video I'm going to post. We have now discharged multiple mothers, multiple babies, multiple children from the hospital, and those videos will be coming to you guys. So keep an eye out for that. Because of the donations you guys provided, I am literally speechless. I don't have the words. I can't even muster up the words to say thank you for everything you guys have done to support me on this journey. It will never be forgotten. I could never, ever, 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 ever forget. So thank you so much for being here. If you're looking to donate, please remember to use the QR code up here or the link in the description. But I'm also very cranky, if I'm being honest, about this article from People Magazine. If you haven't had a chance to see it, I apologize for being the first person to upset you this morning. But on December 1st, which puts us 2 days ago now, at the time you're seeing this, People Magazine put out this article. And when I saw it, I thought I was mistaken. I thought this was an old article that I was seeing, but no, it says December 1st, 2025. Justin Baldoni's two kids, all about daughter Maya and son Maxwell. I'm trying to understand a world where this is, somebody said in my comments on Instagram, this is an SEO manipulation, Justin Baldoni trying to buy good favor for himself. If there's one thing we know Justin Baldoni has not had to do throughout this entire ordeal is buy good press. I'm pretty sure we've covered that, right? So please make it make sense to me why People Magazine would have an article out about his kids, not even about him or him and his wife, his kids specifically. There is no like new quote. There is not. This picture is very, very old. Maya and Maxwell are like super young in this picture. They do not look like this at all. In fact, Justin and Emily don't show the kid's face like that any longer. So I'm very, very, very confused by this. Justin Baldoni and his wife, Emily, with their two kids, Maya and Maxwell, in January 2020. Like I said, this picture is about to be 6 years old now. Hella old picture. Justin Baldoni has always prioritized his two kids, Maya and Maxwell. We know. Why is this news? The Jane the Virgin alum and his wife, Emily, got married in July. This is like a biography now. The pair welcomed their first child together, daughter Maya, 2 years later in June of 2015. Their family grew once again in October 2017 with the birth of their son Maxwell. And when I say I feel disgusting, I know I'm all over the place. I just mean like we don't need to know this information. This is not news that we need right now. That's what I mean by that. This is unnecessary. The only reason I'm reading this is to bring you guys the information that's out there. I have no interest in doing this because I'm very, very confused if you can't tell by how disheveled I am. Speaking to Mini Magazine in 2019, Justin opened up about fatherhood, saying that learning about true selflessness and unconditional love was the best part of becoming a parent, while the lack of sleep was the most challenging. He also shared that it surprised him to learn just how incredibly and profoundly unprepared I was and continue to be. The author went on to praise his wife for her maternal strength. She really feels our kids in a way I can't. She is somehow in tune with everything and knows what they need before they need it. I don't know how she does it, he said. But he has his own forte as a father, too. My kids think I'm funny, which is the greatest win of all time, he said. Here's everything we know about Justin Baldoni's two kids, Maya and Maxwell. Why? Why? Who is asking for this information? Maya is 10. 2 years after they tied the knot. I'm sorry, no. No. I feel ill. I feel disgusting. Why are we doing this? It's too weird. We do know they were already in. It ends with us. We've talked about this ad nauseum. This is not news. They're in the final scene of the farmers market. We know that. There are two kids that are running around. We know that. Although the proud father called his daughter a natural director, he emphasized that he wants her to make her own choices when it comes to her career and in all aspects of her life. The world is going to tell my daughter to fit in a box, he told the Bump in 2021. It's going to tell her what a girl and a woman should be. The world's going to train her to be polite and pretty and be thoughtful and to be quiet when someone's speaking and to care about how she looks. Trying to instill the opposing virtues, he continued, I'm teaching my daughter to take physical risk, to take up space, and that's okay, to be loud sometimes. She was born liking pink, but that's okay. But she's also a damn good athlete. Justin has been open about his desire to raise his kids following his own beliefs in the Baha'i faith and feminism. In a 2018 essay for Romper, he opened up about learning to balance what with his kids' wishes. Thanks to my, I'm sorry, I'm trying to get through this. I still don't see the point. I'm halfway through this article. I still don't see the point. This cannot be a fluff piece to make him look human to us. He doesn't need it. So, what is this supposed to do? What is this supposed to achieve? He explained that both he and his wife had initially wanted to dress Maya in less girly clothing, but even from a young age, she wasn't having it. We couldn't believe how mad she got when she looked in a mirror. We were just trying to be good parents, and in doing so, we realized we were putting our wants for her style above hers, he wrote. That in of itself goes against the core of what we want her to know, that who she is does not need to be created or inspired by anyone else, but simply who she chooses to be. Now we jump to a bio about Maxwell. I'm sorry, but no, I give up. I actually give up this time. I have no interest to continue this bio of the kids because again, what is the point of this? If a fluff piece needed to be written, a fluff piece could have been written about Justin. Not only do I find this invasive and quite creepy a little bit also, and it's disturbing because why are we talking about his kids at all? I I don't think I've ever been dumbfounded or speechless. I mean, I'm not speechless because I'm talking, but honestly, you guys, I'm stumped. What could possibly be the purpose of this? I'm so sorry. I know I keep asking as if I'm waiting for somebody to respond to me right now, but I text Ashley. She hasn't responded yet, but I don't get it. I don't get it. If this article was from the beginning of the year, I could say, yeah, fluff piece. They need to fluff him up. They need to make him look good. But we're in December. Justin doesn't need this. He doesn't need goodwill. So what exactly are we doing here? So in other news, BBC News, right, has like a subgenre, if you will, called BBC Sounds, where they discuss pop culture, politics, whatever kind of topics on their TikTok page. Somebody had messaged me a couple days ago, hey, did you see BBC's video? And I was like, I don't know what you're talking about because I don't watch BBC. It's primarily like a UK, based media house. And I figured I would show you guys. And my sentiments are perfectly written here in Bachi's comment. So we're gonna watch the video, and I want to reiterate: they never signed anything. They just were like, you know what, like we agree with your grievances. Again, like we read in the deposition, you're telling me you want me to agree to something I'm not doing already. That's easy. I'm not doing it. I might as well not agree to it. Or what you're saying you want, you already have it. So it's easy to agree. But let's listen to what BBC had to say, which again makes no sense. I don't know who's doing their research, but here we go.
The thing they move on chronologically to next is the part of the recording where production of the film paused in the summer of 2023 because of strikes. During this time, Blake Lively held a production meeting at her house. Now, the memo says on January 4th, 2024, Lively read a list of grievances from her phone that included, in addition to some already discussed in the memo, a demand that Baldoni not speak to her dead father, mention his religious beliefs, or have private multi-hour meetings in Lively's trailer with Mr. Baldoni crying. 15 days later, Wayfarer CEO Jamie Heath, who's another defendant, on behalf of the film company, signs what she's asked for, and it's
Nobody ever signed anything, just so we're like clear. They never signed anything. Just get that out of the way.
referred to the contract rider agreement. According to Lively's complaint, this rider included provisions such as an intimacy coordinator must be on set at all times when she is on set.
An intimacy coordinator, which if you know anything about this case and you've been around long enough, you know they had an intimacy coordinator that she refused to meet with. Justin still met with said intimacy coordinator, took notes, was working in tandem with the intimacy coordinator. I don't know why she put that in there, but you guys already know this information. BBC misinformed.
There is to be no spontaneous improvising of any scenes involving intimate sexual, physical touching, simulated sex, or nudity with respect to Miss Lively. Now, the point Baldoni's motion makes here is that Lively's objections were resolved before filming resumes, and the memo says that the CAR does not include any admission of improper conduct. It's a forward-looking document concerning behavior once filming resumes. But my question to you, if you sign something, do you think that really holds up, signing something like that without disputing any of the claims on it?
That is why I love our jury system, because different people can make different decisions on what they're reading. Somebody could say it makes sense. Somebody could say it doesn't. That's why it's not, to me, possibly proper for summary judgment.
The next sort of...
I don't know how you have an attorney answer that question and the attorney doesn't even ask, what did they sign? Bachi left a comment here. It says they never signed a list of grievances. They never did. Nor did they ever agree with her characterization of what happened. They didn't. They literally disputed everything she said and gave context. They agreed to a list of demands in order for her to return to work that allowed her to gain control over decisions that she had no control over prior to those demands. Instead of going to HR if she really had an issue, she held a little meeting, came up with that list. So it's like this and this and this is what I need, this and this and that is what you're doing to me. Unless you agree I'm not coming back. They were like, none of this is happening. So yeah, sure, you can come back. But for context, this and this is what really happened based on what you're saying. And then she started using those things as leverage. Let's get that clear. I'm going to actually show you guys exactly what the response that they gave her was right here. So we've talked about this list before. We've seen this list before. So this video is not exactly to go over that 30-point list. This meeting, when she called to her house, was an essential step in a process the parties had agreed to several months before to allow the cast and crew to safely resume production of the film. In mid-November 2023, the parties had agreed in writing to implement a list of protections enumerated in a contract entitled Protections for Return to Production, attached here too as Exhibit A, which included the 17-point provisions designed to require Wayfair to cease the on-set behavior of Mr. Baldoni and Mr. Heath. One of those provisions required all hands meeting to confirm and approve a plan for the implementation of certain protections that will be adhered to for the physical and emotional safety of Miss Lively, her employees, and all cast and crew moving forward. Exhibit A. After receiving the document, Wayfair responded that Wayfair, Sony, right here, Wayfair, Sony, and production respectfully acknowledge that Miss Lively has concerns regarding safety, professionalism, and workplace culture. Although our perspective differs in many aspects, ensuring a safe environment for all is paramount, irrespective of differing viewpoints. Regarding your outline request, we find most of them not only reasonable, but also essential for the benefit of all parties involved. That was the response they gave. They didn't sign anything. They pretty much like, well, like Steve Serwitz had already said and Jamie Heath had already said, if you want me to agree to not do things I'm not already doing, sure. If you want me to agree to do things I'm already doing, sure. Like it's a no-brainer. So I don't know why people are going around saying they signed, they agree. Nobody signed anything. There is not a signature anywhere that anybody can provide that Jamie Heath or Justin signed anything. So let's just nip that in the bud right now. I want to show you guys a video I found exclusive of Blake Lively reading It Ends With Us, and you will not believe it. I mean, I don't know how this video ended up in my lap, but I'm sure you guys are dying to see it. Let's take a look.
Oh yeah, 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 yeah. Nobody nago. Songo, yeah, yeah.
I mean, reading by osmosis, reading by magic. I feel like she literally grabbed a syringe, pulled the words of the page, and was like, enter my brain. but somehow it didn't stick. I'm sure this method will stick for this young man. But until then, I appreciate you for hanging out with me. I appreciate you for being here. Please remember to like, share, hype the video, leave a comment. Definitely subscribe if you haven't already done so. And I'll see you in the next one. Have a good day. Bye-bye.